Well, what a way to start off a Monday Live. If you saw the title, I'm not even leaving it up for suspense today. Oh, hi there, guys. By the way, I'm Adele, and if this is your first time meeting me, I'm your down home and friendly Lyme coach and educator who apparently talks about anything live in a public forum, including anything it takes to take a step forward in healing journeys, right? So I'm here today to actually share with you the brief synopsis of something I tried for the first time recently that is pretty well known in the holistic healing community or integrative medicine community, and that is the good old coffee enema for healing and detox purposes. There's even a little bit of controversy around it. I'm not here, though, to get into all the nitty-gritty of the ins and outs of why coffee enemas may be beneficial, why they're controversial. You can look that up, or maybe it's a topic I'll talk about later if there's interest in that. But I'm just here to share my personal experience today, at least. Because after that, I'm going to need a break. I'm putting myself out there. I actually did this a couple weeks ago, and it's taken me a little time to gear up. But in the meantime, I had my notes for this talk saved on my phone, and I lost them. So I'm flying solo. I'm flying blind as I speak to you about this, but I think I can recap it just fine. It's pretty much ingrained in my brain. So if you're catching this live on YouTube or the replay, make sure you comment so I know you're here, where you're tuning in from, and what your interest in coffee enemas is, if you feel like sharing. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my very random and TMI content. It's not always like this though, guys, but I do try to share openly. And as part of that, that is why I'm here today. Also, you'll find in the description of this video the link to my coaching and support group, Limey and Crunchy. It's free. It's a great community for support for others that are going through similar to what you're going through, but it's all about us progressing on our healing journey, whatever that may look like, coffee enemas or not. So I know some of you out there already swear by coffee enemas, love them, couldn't live without them, and have even some of you that might be watching this have been trying to get me to do them. I've had some people in my life telling me I've got to try this, and I have put it off for years. I have heard the message that they're great and just not seen a need to do them. Maybe it was that I didn't feel like I was sick enough to need them, or that my detox was pretty good and I didn't need more support. I didn't need one more thing to do. I didn't need one more thing to buy. But eventually I got to this point where I was hearing about them more and more. And I also started utilizing zytoscanning for our family. And if you don't know what that is, I've already done a video about it. It's on YouTube, and I've done a blog post about it, and I've done Instagram highlight reel about it. So you can get all the down and dirty info you need all over the internet from things I've done on what I utilize zytoscanning for and how I explain how it works. But it's basically a health tool, like non-invasive health tool that scans your body for what stresses it out, and then also consequently what your body could use to balance it out for optimal healing and optimal health benefits. And it's from a holistic perspective. So there's the scanner is looking at stressors in every organ system and your emotional systems as well. And then the balancers are all kinds of holistic modalities, from exercises to affirmations to homeopathies, if you choose to look at those, to herbal remedies, to foods that would help you heal. And even like color therapy and frequencies like hertz, not like ow, but frequencies that you would listen to for healing. I can look at all sorts of stuff, including certain supplements, essential oils, blah, blah, blah. It's great because you get a whole gamut of ideas for helping your healing that way. But it also looks at holistic health services, at least to a degree, and can recommend what your body might most best respond to, including in that category, coffee enemas. And coffee enemas kept showing up for me, not every time I zytoscanned, but pretty regularly throughout the last couple years. Every few months or so, there's a coffee enema on my Zytoscan again as just a suggestion of a service that might benefit me. And since one of the main health complaints, I'll say it's a true complaint, I don't love it, that I've been struggling with has been migraines. Not much else bothers me, but I still continue to get occasional debilitating migraines. And it's hard to pinpoint the cause of them because there are so many factors that could be triggering them. But I'm determined to help myself heal from that and not have to deal and suffer with that because it's not normal. I don't want to live the rest of my life a slave to the random migraine, you know? And one of the factors that I can help control is making sure my detoxing is optimized and optimal. And I think my body does a really good job naturally. I think we all do. Our bodies are designed to detox us. But there are modalities that can help support that further and can help make sure that we're not just pulling junk, heavy metals, chemicals, toxins out of our system, but that we're actually eliminating them well and really driving them out of our bodies, not just pulling them out of our organs or our brains or our bloodstream or lymphatic system, but that we're actually moving them through our bloodstream and our lymphatic system and our excretory systems, pee and poop. So coffee enema can be really good for that, as well as for stimulating liver and gallbladder function and a whole host of other things. I could do another, like I said, if you are interested in a video just about educating on what coffee enema can be good for, we can do that later. But I finally decided, mostly because I had a friend that was also intrigued by this concept of coffee enema for her own health reasons too. And I had this friend that was like, what do you think about coffee enemas? And I'm like, I've been resisting them, I'll be honest, but I do think a lot of people swear by them being really helpful in their healing. So what do you think? If you do it, I'll do it. Let's do it. And so my friend lives out of state, actually, and from where I live in Pennsylvania. So we planned a visit. I do visit her pretty regularly because she's not too far away, driving distance. So we planned a visit and we bought coffee enema kits. Now, before you get too excited, no, I will spoiler alert this from the get-go. We did not both coffee enema in the same bathroom at the same time, okay? What we did do, you can totally find documented on my end, very G version, not even PG version, the G version in Limey and Crunchy. I actually live streamed myself during my coffee enema from a bathroom floor. You don't get to see anything grotesque, okay? You just get to visit with me while I am laying there. My friend and I totally FaceTimed from the bathroom briefly to encourage each other along, and we did this thing. Both of us first timers. So what was my experience like? Well, first of all, I bought this kit off of Amazon, okay? Easy to find many different coffee enema kits. They're pretty inexpensive too. You can get a very decent one with everything you need, including the coffee even, for right around like 30 or 40 bucks. I think mine was closer to 30 because it was on sale. Woo. Wait for an enema sale. I don't know. But it wasn't so bad because it's a reusable kit. You can clean it and reuse it. So I also, my kit came with coffee. So I used the coffee. It came with, it's a light roast. It actually brews like very pale in color, basically like light tan. It's not even coffee colored to me. I've heard that is higher in caffeine and therefore a little better. I don't really know. I mean, I've heard that you can just use any good quality organic, ideally organic, because you want chemical free, pesticide free. You want it not to be harming you by putting chemicals into your body. That defeats the purpose. So we want our best quality organic, whatever, fair trade, shade grown, whatever you like, coffee. And I've heard you can just use what you drink if that's the kind of coffee you drink. But you want the caffeinated kind. And therefore, if caffeine impacts you, apparently you want to do it earlier in the day. So we did time our enema to be before or around 2 p.m. because after that, we figured, I know caffeine will impact me about after that time. So just to be safe, not knowing what would happen, we brew up our coffee, you cool it, tells you exactly what to do with this kit that I got. I'm not sure if I'm going to link the kit here or not, because honestly, Amazon doesn't always have the exact same things, but this came with a bucket, tubing, the little end piece, and some coffee. That was it. Like, it's not very involved. You don't need much more than that. So off we go with our little kits. Coffee enemas are very self-explanatory if you just look into the directions that come with them. Because I know I was really curious and I was like, is there anything to this? Now, I'm a nurse by trade, so I know from training how to do enemas in general, but I know not everyone does. So just rest assured, I think most of these kits at least come with directions or like a QR code to scan your directions. I think that's actually how this kit was. I don't even remember exactly because I was tuning a lot of it out, just trying to get through. Just, you draw the line sometimes when you're like a crunchy hippie person. Everyone's got their boundaries, but you know what? There is no line I won't cross potentially. Unless there's a good reason. And I did not have a good reason to not try this. So I will tell you, you infuse the coffee into your intestines rectally, and it sits there. And you just lay there. We just laid on towels on the floor right by a toilet because we didn't know what to expect. I've heard some people, like especially in the beginning, can have a rough go of it in terms of it quickly stimulates GI activity. And so the idea is that you want to sit with it in your colon and in your intestines as long as possible. And yes, you brew the amount the amount you are planning to infuse into you. So we brewed as much as we put in, and then you're ideally, I believe, supposed to sit as long as like 12 to 20 minutes, but even up to 10 minutes allows enough cycles of blood through your liver to help with the detoxing and the liver stimulation and all the good effects. So we were shooting for like 12 minutes if we could get there as the first timers. And I think it was actually right around the 11, 12-minute mark. I felt fine. Like I didn't even, after it went in, it just felt a little weird going in, like fullness. But after it went in, I felt fine, like normal, like nothing was going on. I just laid there and waited, and I had a timer going on my phone. And at about the 11 or 12-minute mark, it was like, that's it. Got to go to the bathroom right now. We're done. So I was glad that I was right by the toilet because that was a little awkward trying to maneuver. I feel like I will get better at this as time goes on. Should I choose to do it again? We'll get to that. But that was that. So I was done at that point. So my friend, right about the same time. So we were both on track for that to be our maximum time the first time. That was it. We cleaned up our equipment really well. There was nothing gross about the equipment, I will say. Like in terms of it wasn't like it just had coffee going through it pretty much. And yes, it was in an unsavory location, but it was not disgusting. If that helps anyone that was really wondering to know the exact truth of the matter. My experience was pretty A-okay. So after that, I started to pay attention to how I felt. Like during the coffee enema, I just felt a lot of like stomach activity until I couldn't take it anymore, gurgling, and then had to go. Afterwards, I did start to get a headache within a half an hour, like a very mild one started to come on. And I was like, interesting. A lot of reasons why this could be happening, but just took note of that. And actually it went away on its own then within another half hour. So an hour later, no more headache threats. And then I was fine headache wise. I remember feeling really wiped out at first too, like really tired. And then again, probably about an hour or two later, I started to feel really energized, interestingly, not right away. And that lasted for a little while, like a good energy, not like a jittery caffeinated energy even, just kind of like I felt really good. Like it felt really good. Did it mess with my bowels? Everyone wants to know that. Was I like stuck on the toilet? No. My friend ended up having to go to the bathroom, I think a couple times. I'm not here to tell her story, so I don't even really know. Don't quote me on that. But I was fine. I felt like my bowels were like back to their normal routine. pretty quickly, except I did notice over the next couple days, went to the bathroom, number 2, a little more frequently than normal. And you got to know my baseline, guys. You got to know, I know TMI, but the baseline for me is like typically twice a day, sometimes 1, sometimes 3, but average of twice a day normally for me anyway, 2 to 3 times a day for me. So I was going without discomfort though. It wasn't like running to the bathroom ever afterwards for me. It was just like normal bowel movements up to, I think, like 5 times a day for the next 1 to 2 days, like 1.5 days. It was like 5, and then I think the next day was like 4. And it felt really good. I felt like cleansed. I felt really good, but normal good, like not disrupted from my normal life. So it was really nice to know, like, I didn't feel like I had to stay by a toilet for any length of time. I was worried about that potentially because I'd never done one before. But for me, I was fine after and felt pretty good. Got a good night's sleep. Just felt a little like wiped out off and on after that energy boost that I got from it. Then I felt a little wiped for the next day. Not bad, not like laid out, but just like it felt like a lot for my body, but in a good way. Like maybe what my body needed. I also ended up losing a couple pounds over the next couple days without like any effort to try. Yeah, I was pooping more. Who knows? Maybe that was some of it. I know we can hold extra poop in our colons in our whole intestines, even without knowing it. And I didn't feel like I was particularly constipated. I don't struggle with that in particular, but who knows? Maybe there was a little bit at least. I don't know. But I gotta say, it was easy enough and foolproof enough for me that I will probably definitely do it on the regular. In fact, I'm planning a time this week for round 2. And my friend, she loved it as well. Maybe even more than I did, actually. And she was even more skeptical than me leading up to it. I was ready to go. Once I made up my mind to do it, I was on board with it. But got kiddos running in and out. It's a lovely day today. But my friend was like almost talked out of it by the end of it. And even as we were brewing our coffee, she was like, "Are we really doing this?" And I was like, "Yes, we are." But she was so impressed by how it helped her with some of her specific needs. And like I said, I'm not telling her story, but she already has done her second one and she is planning routine ones as well. So moral of the story is coffee enema. Worth it. Will do again. And maybe a little sad I waited so long to try it. What do you all think? Have you tried one? Be honest. If not, why not? And if you have, what did you think of it? Don't make me be the only one that shared her story here. Can't wait to hear from you all. Until next time, cheers to your healing journey and all the twists and turns it may take along.